Okay. Great. With that, I'd like to call to order this special meeting of the town board of the town of Northeast. It is Tuesday, November 4th. It is in fact election day. I appreciate the fact that everybody was able to come in today. It is 5 o'clock and I would like to ask you all to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation under God,
indivisible,
liberty,
justice for
justice
all.
for all.
Thank you.
Forgot the words.
Well, we could hear you loud and clear. Tilly, would you please conduct a roll call
Supervisor Cannon,
here?
Councilwoman Morrison,
Here.
Councilman Fideli,
Here.
Councilwoman Winkler,
Here.
Councilman Mayville.
Here. Okay. Thank you all, and thank you all for attending this special meeting of the board. We're having this meeting because we are getting jammed up towards the end of the year with a lot of things that we need to get done. Particularly with our review and review of the zoning code, and that is moving along. It has been my fondest hope to finish it this year. I'd like to finish it when Councilman Fideli will be here to vote to approve it, because he's had a lot of thoughts on it and put a lot of time into it. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to do that, but we're gonna try. And we have two other very important things tonight. We have three very important things altogether. And the first one has to do with Hudson River Valley Greenway, second with our new town hall, and the third with rezoning. So there's nothing unimportant on this list. Anyway, with that, I'd like to get right into it. And the first item is there's no written resolution,
Yeah.
but I wanted to, oh no, there is a,
There is a.
There's a rest, yeah.
yes, there is, I'm sorry.
You want to read it?
No, you don't need to read it.
Everybody has a copy.
Basically, the next portion of our zoning work, we are hoping to hire Nan Stolzenberg to do that. And the Hudson Valley Greenway, the Hudson River Valley Greenway, its full name, has grant opportunities to provide for support for the consulting on rezoning. And with a great deal of help from Edie, we were able to get a grant application in by the deadline of last Friday. We were working hard all Friday afternoon, but we got it in on time. We've had a note back from the Greenway that was received. But one of the requirements is that the town board needs to vote to authorize to submit the application. And it does say the town board can do that after you've submitted the application, but we need to do it. And so with that, we have a resolution of approval of sending in this grant application for $30,000 to the Hudson River Valley Greenway. And I would entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anyway, motion is carried. Thank you. The second of these three items is concerns our new town hall, and just to bring everybody up to date on where we are on that. Since we bought the building, we have gone through various steps to try and move forward with the renovation of the building to turn it into an appropriate town hall. We had an architect. We've had several architects actually who have worked on it, starting with Jeannie Van Ecko, who did a sort of conceptual design for the renovation. And we then worked with Land Engineering, which basically looked at the HVAC of the building. And with another architect who produced a proposal which we were able to put out to bid for the renovation of the building. And as you may recall, we got one bid back for $940,000, and the board said, no, thank you. We voted to reject that bid because it was just, first of all, when you only have one bid, and particularly if that bidder knew that they were the only bidder, there's nothing to stop them from really jacking that price up. I believe that we're gonna be able to get this done for a lot less. It is my determination that we get it done for a lot less. But we then had the problem of mold in the building. And as you will recall, we've had that addressed and dealt with. And we're really now ready to move on to getting this done. And I've had several meetings with Land Engineering. And I'm glad to say that Meg has been able to accompany me on some of those meetings. So that, you know, I had a second set of eyes and ears. They've taken it very seriously, in my mind. They've been very prompt with their responses to us. And they have come back to us with a proposal to do not only the engineering, but the architectural work, because there are some changes architecturally which will be needed inside. They're relatively small. They concern ADA bathrooms and so on. We've got to make sure that they are right so that we are compliant with that. Anyway, they have come back to us and with a proposal to move forward. And I think that it's a good proposal. It's not inexpensive, but I think that it was a very complete proposal.
Hi, can we
It,
come in?
Of course.
Sorry we're late.
Mhm.
it's a board meeting. You're welcome to attend if you want to.
We just wanted to check it out a little bit.
Sure.
All right, well, we're in the middle of a board meeting, so
Okay,
Sign in, please.
we went to the wrong place, I'm sorry.
anyway, we received this proposal from them based on everything that I've seen from them. I think they're in a good position to take us forward to renovate the building and to get us to a point where we can put it out to bid. One of the reasons why I'm glad we're meeting tonight is because I want to move forward on this as fast as we can. I'd like to get it out to bid while there are still contractors who are looking for what they call winter work, indoor work. And so with that, we have a resolution to approve of moving forward with this contract with Land and Associates Engineering. Any comments, questions, Meg?
Chris, and Warren, I went through the resolution and I didn't know, the description of lawn right now is to just engineering. Should we add architectural services too?
I
Does
think
that-
that this covers their proposal, which
Okay,
does include architectural services.
yeah, it doesn't
but
say that word in
We
there.
can, you know, Warren, you can tell me, I mean, it's, what the resolution does is to accept their proposal. And their proposal certainly does include architectural services as part of their plan, because their plan includes you know, a complete design of the building based on the work that's been done till now. We're not reinventing the wheel, but they have needed, in order for them to put their stamp on it,
Yeah.
they need to feel that, yes, you know, the dimensions are correct and the heights are correct and you know, every aspect of it is correct. So
That's the second whereas from the bottom, but from the above now, from the end.
Right.
It's the second one up that it just
Yeah.
says additional engineering work, and I didn't know if we should just add.
should we, Warren, should we add the word and architectural work in the second
I don't think it's gonna be architectural. Actually, I reviewed the contract this afternoon. And the proposed contract, and they're proposing to take us through the entire project from beginning to end, which is much more than just engineering work. They're going to assist us with the bidding. They're going to supervise. So we won't need any other engineering or architectural or other specialized services. They're going to do everything that's required for to bring us to conclusion on the project. So I didn't specify all the things that they're going to be doing in the resolution, but the contract certainly is complete and has everything that we would want from an engineering firm to take us through to the end of the project. So,
I
and
think
I will be adding a rider to the contract, and as I did with their previous contract, so it'll go back to you for. I might be able to have. I probably should have that for the next town board meeting. So,
Right, which is on the 13th.
yeah,
Okay, so with, so I think that's okay then,
Okay.
Neg, as is, because especially in light of the fact that he's gonna be preparing a rider.
Mhm.
And I will make sure that in the rider, if it is necessary, that it specifies architectural, it may be other things besides
Yeah.
architectural and,
If you
Engineering.
detailed above it, that's the only
Yeah.
reason I bring it up.
yeah,
So Lan is gonna essentially run the project from soup
There.
to nuts, manage more than just
more than just,
engineering.
more than just giving us the engineering, yes.
It's like they're doing all the architectural drawings and then also bidding for us, construction drawings. bidding.
These will be their drawings
Yeah.
that finally get put out to bid.
'Cause
yeah, they'll be
Jeannie-
helping us with that. It's pretty comprehensive. It includes everything that we need to get through this project.
Genies were great, but they're more like proof of concept.
Yeah.
And not
Right.
necessarily architecturally perfect for a commercial versus residential and all those kind of details, so.
Understood, I just wanted to make sure people were aware, like, this is
Yeah,
the whole kit and caboodle wrapped up in one, as opposed to maybe what we were looking at before.
right, right. Well, I think we were trying to do this by, doing a little bit here, a little bit there, and sometimes you get into trouble when you're doing that, particularly if you're trying to GC a project like this,
Right.
here's by ourselves, and none of us are contractors.
Yeah,
And I think that this is a good way forward. Any other thoughts, comments? Otherwise, I would welcome a resolution to approve. Welcome a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
second.
Okay, I think we should do this as a roll call.
Supervisor Kennen,
Aye.
Councilman Fidele,
Aye.
Councilman Mayville,
Aye.
Councilwoman Morrison,
Bye.
Councilwoman Winkler.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Okay, and the third item that we have is basically it's basically it's a lot. This is an important waypoint in the work that we have done to rezone the commercial portion of the town. And just to remind everybody, that's really Route 44 from CVS to the Connecticut line. Also a little bit of Route 22 going north and a piece of Route 22 by the intersection with 199. Those are sort of the three commercial districts of the town. And we have spent, we have spent the last 4 years basically working on this with our consultant, with the zoning review committee, which Edie chaired, and they had 92 meetings. I just want everyone to wrap their head around that. 92 meetings in here with minutes of each of those minutes of those meetings. That's a lot of volunteer time. That's a lot of work that went into this. And where we are, we have now a revision of that zoning. We have looked at it. We've had, I think, 6 or 7 meetings where the town board has gone through those. And Will has prepared this in a format that can be sent to the county.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Um,
All right, well, Edie, why don't I turn it over to you?
no,
for
just
now?
that, we're almost ready to go, but this version that was circulated a day or so ago has red lines of all the changes the board made. That's what's.
And strikeouts,
And strike.
right,
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
needs to be cleaned up.
Exactly,
Right.
and he can do that very quickly, but, I just wanted you to know. that-
What we got didn't have that. We only had yellow lines. We never had any red lines.
Oh, okay, yellow lines, whatever.
Yeah, but we didn't have much.
But it indicated the changes, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
It indicated the
Right.
changes.
So when he does that. And cleans it up so that it is a clean document without a lot of yellow lines or red
Oh, yeah.
lines or whatever.
It's ready to go.
Then it is ready to
Yeah.
go to Dutchess County Planning Department, which is the requirement. We can't just approve the rezoning ourselves. Even if we wanted to, it has to go to Dutchess County Planning Department. It will also be shared with the planning board of the town. And those are sort of legal requirements for this. It will also be shared in the right spirit of good governance and everything else with the village of Millerton, with the town of Ankrum, town of Pine Plains, the town of Stanford, the town of Amenia, and with the town of Salisbury, Connecticut. As well as with our ZBA and with the Conservation Advisory Council. And we can send it to anybody else that, needs to see it. But this is an important way station on this, because then the county comes back to us with their comments. As you know, we already a year ago, or more than a year ago, already sent them a draft, but there've been changes in it since then. But they had an opportunity to see a preliminary version of this. It's not a small document. This is
181.
181 pages of zoning code. This, depending on your appetite for this stuff, this could be very good for sleep. Anyway. Edie, you have any more comments you want to make about this at this point?
Meg, do you want to bring
Yeah,
up some of your opinions?
Yeah, I went through quickly, well, not quickly, but as much as I could this morning. And things popped out at me of things, I'm not talking right now about changing anything outside of what we already had decided to make a couple changes, and they were not changed in here, and they're not big changes.
And that I can include in my transcript.
Yeah, so all it is, and I didn't know if, for example, Warren had recommended a definition of affordable housing, but that was your recommendation at one point under the definitions, but I don't know if it just defaults to the section 180.72-5, but you had said that at one point, so that's it. Then the basement definition during our last meeting, the one we approved with Warren, it wasn't reflected. I pointed out to, so I sent just bullet points to Edie and Chris and Warren this morning. And then outdoor dining, it didn't reflect our decision in one of the meetings to change the outdoor seating, only restricting to 12 seats.
You want to just take that section out?
I don't think we need to say how many seats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking that was the
Yeah.
solution there.
yeah, because
Just no need to.
yeah, we just said planning board approval or
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
but yeah, for me, I'm fine, but not saying.
Okay, me too. I think that
Yeah.
makes sense.
That was my thought.
And then daycare adult, it was just a,
I'm gonna ask
leftover.
him to take play area and.
it says
and just
play area for adults still. so
Right.
It was just taking a
Space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Replace play area with space.
space,
That was
or
my
he had the
thought.
word, Warren, and he had the word recreational space or.
Oh,
or
You like
meetings.
that recreation? Okay, fine, yeah.
Sorry. And then we had, one other, in the attachments, 1R in the back under just like uses. We did include an Irondale general merchandise as a, special.
That is covered on the next page under wholesale distribution business. That's a big difference. There is no retail in Irondale.
Outside of Napa.
Napa is wholesale.
No.
Believe me, that was a big thing.
No, I buy things retail.
I know, but that is, they have.
his primary business is
It's
wholesale.
primary
Okay,
business.
all right,
It
all
went
right,
through.
so I guess
And
that those
we-
are,
They're allowed to sell things.
Yes,
At
and
retail.
we are allowing other people to have what is it, 5% of the
Yeah,
floor space?
yeah.
That's retail. Yeah.
okay, all right. And then
But
we.
it does require a special permit under the wholesale district businesses. on the
Okay,
next page.
great. And then we were just gonna align, Edie was just gonna will align our parking requirements for dwelling multifamily and apartments above commercial. That's just for studios, but it's just aligning.
Studio and 1 bedroom, and I think his thinking there, and I certainly do whatever you say, is that, when you have a commercial, you don't need quite as much space because, that's a sort of daytime traffic versus a multifamily where it's entirely residential, and he had 1.5 spaces for the multifamily and only 1 space
But that
for
was
the
for
apartments.
studio.
Studio and 1 bedroom in the.
Yeah, but the 2-bedroom and the 3-bedroom are the same for each one. For each one of those categories, it didn't change.
I'll ask him to check.
I mean, I just don't
Mhm.
see why they can't be the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meg, going back to the affordable housing one.
Mhm.
I think this is one that we could spend a lot of time on, because we could decide, well, this is the town of Northeast's definition of
Gotcha.
affordable housing, which could be very different from the town of Amenia's
Yeah.
definition of affordable, or from the town of Poughkeepsie's different. So I'm not eager to wade into that right now, because I just think we're gonna get lost in that one.
Yeah, I
It's-
mean, I only had it on
it's
my
not-
list as what Warren had brought up in the meeting, so it's not something that I feel like we have to have. It was just a bullet
Right.
point, so
Yeah.
for me, I'm fine, for
Okay.
the next version, as long as Warren's okay.
Yeah, and then, just to reiterate again, that after we hold a public hearing on this document, it comes back to the town board, and the town board can then make further changes in this. So we will have, that opportunity. And there will probably be things that come up at the public hearing that we're not even talking about right now, where we will want to make changes.
Warren, a couple of technical questions. The county needs 30 days. But is it prudent to give them a few more days? Or not?
I just wanted to clarify one point, that what we're doing tonight is actually a preliminary referral to the county. We're going to wind up with 3 referrals to the county. So we did a referral quite a while ago. We got extensive comments from the county. If you read the resolution, it refers to a preliminary referral to the county and to our planning board. So we're not bound by any time requirements, because when we're ready to actually put this out to a public hearing, we have to do another referral to the county and the planning board. I would imagine by that time, we'll have all the comments from Dutchess County Planning and from the planning board, so it'll expedite the final process. But what we're doing tonight is in a second informal referral of the FEIF, the proposed local law. And I think I sent them the proposed resolution, seeker resolution. And we should send them, I think, a copy of the work document that we referred to, that your group and Will prepared, which would guide them through each section to help them understand it. But we're not bound by any time periods on this referral, so we can discuss that at the next meeting. But I imagine this will expedite the final approval from Dutchess County Planning and from the Planning Board, so they don't have to take another 30 or 60 days or whatever they need when we put everything into final form and schedule it for a public hearing. So that's what this.
Warren, why is this not a final version? For the purpose of the planning board.
Well, I mean, in essence, it's a final version where I don't anticipate we're going to have many changes between this and the other version, but it was my understanding that we were going to be referring this to the planning board and county planning as a preliminary to the referral that has to occur when we schedule the public hearing and have everything in final form. The local law particularly may not be in sufficient final form for adoption and filing with the Department of State. So that will require probably a little more work. But if you read the resolution, it's only referring to a preliminary referral to the county at this point. So we're not bound by, a 30-day rule, but we probably would be a good idea to contact them and ask them. Can you hold on? I'm sorry. Oh, God, my doctor. I'll just leave it, take a message. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was directed to do, and that's what I did. So the next step would be actually to schedule a public hearing, put the local law into final form, and because the local law is not, in my opinion, in final form, technical form, not substantive form, for the public hearing. And I would imagine that we'll have the input from county planning and our planning board in very expedited fashion after that. We're not going to have to wait for 30 days or whatever when we get to that. But that's what this resolution is tonight.
So Warren, as I understand it, what you're saying is that we need to get feedback from our planning board before we make a final version of this, which we send to the county and schedule a public hearing.
No, when we actually schedule it for a public hearing,
Yeah.
and have the final version for the public to review and for you to vote on, at that time, we also send it to county planning and to the planning board. But this will expedite that review when we're at that stage, which we'll probably discuss next week at our town board meeting. That was the next step that we were going to discuss. So it's a preliminary referral to both boards, but in essence, it'll be tantamount to a final referral because it's not going to change that much between now and when we schedule the public hearing.
Are you
Right.
planning to schedule the public hearing at the board meeting?
Well, we would schedule the public hearing when we feel that we are ready to, and I'm eager to schedule the public hearing, as you know. Is there any reason why we would not be able to schedule the public hearing next week at our board meeting?
Only that I'm not sure that the local law, which was prepared, will pass muster with the Department of State when we file it in terms of format, not substance, but format. So that's something we had discussed before, rather than attaching the changes to the local law, actually doing a local law with each one of the changes in the body of the resolution, and that's something Will said he could prepare.
He did,
He did.
and you have it. It's the third document in what came back last week.
No, I have it, but this is not,
This one, right, IOA?
yeah, I mean, what he did on this local law, it says draft, first of all. And if you look at the local law, it has addendum to it, with the zoning map and text amendments. I'm not sure that would be accepted by the Department of State. That's what my concern is. So we weren't ready to do that at this night's meeting. But I was told that you wanted to send it to the Dutchess County Planning and our planning board now as a preliminary matter, and that's the way I drafted the resolution.
Yeah, I don't recall using the word preliminary, but I certainly know that we wanted to send it to Dutchess County. Because that's an important step on this process. Do you think, if we send it to Dutchess County tomorrow, that we could then have the local law in such a state that it could be approved at our meeting next week?
If I can confirm with the Department of State, although it's very hard to get in touch with them anymore, and will, that this will pass muster, then this might do the trick. And we could do that by next meeting.
And would we then be able to schedule a public hearing
Yes,
at the next meeting?
yeah. And technically, we would do another referral to county planning, but we've already started the referral process now early,
I mean,
essentially.
we've already referred it to them once. This is actually the second time they're
Yeah,
getting it.
no, I was fully aware of that, and that's,
Yeah,
that was what I thought we were doing tonight.
But I have a question.
Yes.
If the time difference between giving the preliminary and the other one that we have to have done, right, ready for public hearing to the public, if that's 2 weeks, is that worth it, or is that a waste of their time?
well, I think that the version that we sent to Dutchess County is going to be the version that will be presented to the public. It's
Okay.
gonna be posted on the website.
Yeah,
He's saying different.
No,
No.
we're going to incorporate their suggestions where you feel it's appropriate.
I
Yeah,
thought once you schedule a
after-
public hearing, you can't make any more changes to it.
Well, there could be. I mean, it happens when you put it out. When you schedule the public hearing, the local law has to be in final form for adoption purposes. Okay? If this meets the requirements of the Department of State and General Code for filing, usually we put the amendments in the text of the law, not as a supplement. If that, we might be able to go with that and then send this out by next week. But if you recall, we had a discussion on that at our last meeting, and I asked Will, I told him that, is it possible to, instead of having an addendum, that he incorporate all the changes, in a text in the local law itself. So the local law would be much longer, but there would be no addendum.
All right, well, why don't we see what we can get done by next week? It's actually 9 days from now. It'll be on the 13th.
There's nothing wrong, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but there's
No.
nothing wrong with doing this and sending this out immediately. So Dutchess County Planning and the Planning Board can get a head start, which means that once we put it on for a public hearing, the time period for their review may be shortened to 3 days. They don't have to do it again because they've essentially done it now.
Right, yeah. All right, well, I think then we can still consider the resolution that we have for tonight.
Yes,
Uh,
that's
which-
fine.
Is us to send it to the planning board and and just as importantly to Dutchess County.
Yeah, but if you look at the resolution, it talks about a preliminary referral with a further referral later on, but I'm anticipating essentially the second referral will not technically be necessary. They'll already have reviewed everything, so it won't take 30
Well-
days or 60 days for them to review it.
And we might need a resolution for next week's meeting, which just clarifies that.
Yeah, if we could get it all. I mean, I think we have
Let's see
everything.
what you get, let's see what you get from the Department of State.
Yeah, if I can get a hold of them. You used to be able to just call them up and get somebody on the phone. You can't do that anymore. But I'll talk to Will about this. This is something we discussed at our last meeting, but maybe there was some confusion.
Yeah.
But there's no problem going ahead with the resolution for tonight.
Edie has a comment.
Oh, just, I will ask, Will what his experience has been using this format.
Yeah, I've never used this
Department of
format.
State.
Yeah,
Yeah, I realize.
I've done,
Yeah.
I don't know, hundreds, but many local laws amending the code. I've never used this format. We always put it in the body of the local law, but this may be perfectly acceptable.
All right. Well, I think we've got a plan moving forward, at least for now, to get this over to Dutchess County Planning and to the planning board. And the other, other copies, which I think are more of a courtesy to other surrounding towns and to the village of Millerton. But important, there's no reason why this draft of the rezoning can't be sent to them at this point, or
Yes.
would you disagree?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fine because essentially it provides all of the documentation that is needed for them to review the changes to the zoning code. It just may not comply with Department of State filing requirements.
Is there anyone, in addition to the town's ZBA, the town's CAC, the village of Millerton, the town of Amenia, town of Ankrum, town of Pine Plains, town of Stanford, and the town of Salisbury, Connecticut? Is there anyone else you can think of that?
Sure, I can think of somebody else, but I
You could,
think
but I don't,
I think that covers all of the legal requirements for referrals.
I don't think
has
that the town of Rhinebeck needs a copy.
Do we have to
But
do
you don't,
survey?
but considering that we're not scheduling it for a public hearing,
Right.
this doesn't have to be sent to the adjoining municipalities. It has to be sent to the adjoining municipalities when we schedule the public hearing. So you don't even have to send it to them.
Okay, well, we might send it to them anyway, just
What's the difference?
for the hell of it.
Their mailbox.
Why not do everything 2 or 3 times? That's
Exactly, that's the way government is.
That's copay. We don't have to do copay because
I
it's
don't
not in
think-
our county.
It's not adjoining.
It doesn't
It
adjoin.
doesn't adjoin us.
Ankrum is in
Ankrum,
between
Ankrum.
up there.
Yeah, it always feels like it's Copac, but it's actually Ankrum.
22.
Okay, any other questions or thoughts?
I have just a legal question. Can any town petition against our zoning? Or is this just a courtesy? Because I don't ever remember.
Actually, I know the answer to that. It's a very esoteric area of the law. I think it's 239 NN or something that governs the referrals to adjoining counties. So you're required to refer it to the adjoining towns and municipalities, but those municipalities cannot challenge the zoning law on substantive grounds. They can challenge if they feel there's a defect in our environmental review. They would have standing to object to the lack of an environmental review, but not to the substance of the zoning law. it's kind of a quirk in in the way the law works.
Yeah.
Warren, two questions. Should the EAF be sent in addition to the? draft?
Sorry, I just realized I forgot to send them the EAF too. That's in the resolution now. Yeah. Yeah. And
Wait, can we give these people a time frame within which they should respond with comments? Or does that
well, if
matter?
it was a formal referral to the county, there would be a 30-day time frame. But this is not considered a formal referral. So I wouldn't hold them to the 30-day. If they can substitute this review for the 239M review when we actually schedule for a public hearing, then there would be a 30-day, but there's no 30-day time period. But this will get them started because there's a lot of stuff for them to review. I mean, this is not like a 3-page local law that, that can be reviewed in an afternoon. So what was the other? There was another question. I'm trying to remember what that was, but
I think that was it. You got it.
You've answered.
I think I got
Thank you.
it. Yeah, and I recommended that we, the work manual, the manual that we worked for them. That was, you might want to send that to them also, just so they, it would help them analyze things, and so I put that in the
First
rest.
10 pages of the PDF.
Mhm.
It's the first 10 pages of the PDF. That mapping of what's changed and what hasn't changed.
Mhm.
Right, so that will be going to them,
Yeah.
right, yes.
Anything that facilitates their review. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are there any other questions, thoughts, comments? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Everyone has a copy of the resolution. Tilly, would you conduct a roll call?
Yes. Supervisor Kennen,
Aye.
Councilman Fideli,
Aye.
Councilman Mayville,
Aye.
Councilwoman Morrison,
Aye.
Councilwoman Winkler.
Aye.
Okay,
And I don't know if I mentioned it, but the resolution says to send them the draft negative declaration. I may not have said that, so send them that.
Yeah, it's in the EAF.
Yeah,
did you hear that? It's in the EAF.
yeah. Oh, okay. It's part of the EAF. Okay, I had a
Yes.
separate one, but it'd be a good idea for them to see that too.
Okay,
We
you have anything else?
can do that.
You said something about.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion, to send this zoning review documents to those entities that we just talked about. Namely, the ZBA, the CAC, Village of Millerton, the town of Menia, the town of Ancrum, the town of Pine Plains, the town of Stanford, and the town of Salisbury, Connecticut.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, with that, public comment. Public comment, any public comment?
I think you lost your public. Where's the public?
No,
We have two,
no,
we have two folks, three folks.
yeah,
You can see them in the strip at the top.
and not hearing any, any further comments from the board? An opportunity for board thoughts? Otherwise, we have a regular board meeting a week from Thursday. I believe that's the 13th.
Correct.
Yep,
Sure.
here at 7 o'clock is our regular board meeting. Obviously, we'll be coming back to this at that time. And that's it. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And we are adjourned and
Good night, everybody.
You.
Be well.
Thank you.
Oh, no, that, That was left in because of an automobile